Happy MLB Draft Day, Tennessee baseball. It's going to be a big night. You're going to hear Tennessee mentioned a lot tonight. Of course, Tony Vitello will be an analyst on the set for the draft tonight, which is good publicity for the University of Tennessee as well. Make sure you hit that like, that share. It is free to subscribe. Thank you guys so much for your support. Frank, House of Orange coming at you. I'm going to try to cut to the chase on this as much as possible, not do a lot of rambling on it, but the draft is tonight. We're going to hear Tennessee's name called tonight. We're going to hear guys who are committed to Tennessee called tonight, but I also think it bears watching tonight as well who gets picked, who doesn't. And there's guys we can go ahead and put, I'm going to go ahead and put these guys in the category of I would not get my hopes up on Knoxville. And this is going to include current players or guys who just finished up and signees. These guys are not going to affect next year's team just because I feel there's little to no chance that they're going to be back on it. And I'm going down the line in terms of rankings. A name that you've heard me mention on here as well, Billy Carlson. He's the top-rated signee. Everything I've seen mock draft-wise, worst case maybe like 12th from what I've seen, that he'll fall no further than to Texas. But everything I've seen is he'll be higher in that top 10. Liam Doyle, I've seen him mocked as high as number 2 to the Angels. Obviously, he's not going to be back next year. Steele Hall is a signee, shortstop signee out of Alabama. I've seen him top 15. It's believed he's definitely not going to make it. Gavin Keelan, I've seen him top 20. Andrew Fisher, first round as well. Those guys not going to be back. Dean Curley, I've seen him mocked as high as those supplemental picks right after the actual first-round picks, which are still considered first round. But I've also seen him, a little bit lower than that as well. Pretty much top 2 rounds, though, I've seen Curley. I've seen Marcus Phillips mocked as high to the Braves in the first round. A.J. Russell, I've seen him mocked up to the first round as well. Those guys that I just mentioned, I feel they're gone. They're gone, all right? Ethan Moore is a high school signee. He's an infielder. I feel like that one's one as well. I would not count on seeing him make it to Knoxville. Now, I say that with these high school guys. I'd love for them to make it, but I'm being realistic on that as well. Tanner Franklin, I don't know if he comes off the board tonight, but if not tonight, he'll come off the board early tomorrow. And the draft does start tonight, 6 o'clock. You can watch first round on ESPN, Major League Baseball Network, and MLB.com. From what I have read on it, everything after that is through MLB.com. And then rounds 4 through 20 start back tomorrow morning at 11:30. They're on MLB.com as well that you can follow along. Like I said, Tanner Franklin, I expect him off the board probably early tomorrow. Matt Bard, JUCO pitcher. I've talked about that one a lot. I'm curious to see when he comes off the board because I've seen him projected as one of the rising guys right now. He's not going to make the campus. Just not going to happen. Nate Snead, he'll come off the board, I expect, tomorrow. Brandon Arvidsson, I expect him off the board sometime tomorrow. I've seen him in that top 10 of fastest rising guys, Matt Barr, Brandon Arvidsson as well. That's the guys for sure. Now, I don't think Reese Chapman, I don't think Cannon Peebles, and I don't think Dalton Bargo make it back as well. Of course, Hunter Inslee is out eligibility. I do expect these guys' names to be called. In the event of Chapman, Peebles, Bargo, though, I think Bargo was ranked some earlier in the year. His stock fell off at the end of the year. I'm just curious, man, if those guys don't get drafted, if they have a spot in Knoxville. I'm not so sure they do. My hope for them all is they get drafted. I hope they get drafted, they get what they're looking for tonight, and they can go and start their pro careers. That is my hope for, and that's what I expect will happen. But again, you never say never on, especially when you see guys not in those top 500 and they're not in any of these rankings. The dudes I just mentioned, I would not count on them next year. Here's my little bit of hope. And when I say little bit, it could be very, very little. Cruz Schoolcraft, I think he comes off the board tonight, and he's gone. He's a two-way guy, left-handed pitcher, supposed to be a really good hitter as well. I see this every year, and I've talked about it some on the videos if you've heard me say it. The guys that follow right for Tennessee, right about Tennessee baseball, and they're really good. All right, it's nothing. I see this every year. They start hyping up dudes that are going to make it through the draft. They're going to make it to campus, and then don't. Last year was, we were pretty fortunate as far as who made it to campus. We only had 4 guys get drafted as far as high school guys. I don't know that we're going to be as fortunate this year. There is some, based on what I'm seeing, a little bit of hope that Schoolcraft makes it in. It has been said that his asking price is pretty high. And I've seen, as I've continued to see these mock drafts, I've seen him listed lower and lower as far as first and second round goes. Could get to a point, never know, that teams are not willing to meet his number and he makes the campus. I'll be honest, I'll believe it when I see it, but can always hold out hope on him. Cameron Appenzeller, another left-handed pitcher, rated perfectgame.com's got him 22 overall on it. There's optimism on him. It's another one. We'll see. Yeah, I think it depends on his asking price. But those 2 guys, apparently there's at least a possibility. If I had to rank who was more likely, I would put Appenzeller as more likely. With that said, I don't know that either one of them make it, though. I really don't. I hope they do. That'd be big. It'd be big because the thing of it is, once you get to campus, you're there for at least 2 years, if not 3. So, unless you transfer. Looking at it as well here, guys, I'm looking at. And I'm going high school, guys I've not mentioned. Trent Grinlinger, catcher out of California. From what I've read, he wants to come to campus. But if a team meets his number, does he go? Evan Hankins is a first baseman. Supposed to be a big bat. Played at John Battle High School up in Bristol. I don't think he played there this past year, but I know when he committed to Tennessee back like his freshman year, he was playing for John Battle. Hankins is a draft risk. I don't know how high. I think there is a possibility he makes it, but I know he was at the draft combine as well. Evan, I'll come back to that. Taylor Tracy, Ethan Biotto is a pitcher. Tyler Wood. Those are guys that are ranked the highest according to these Baseball America rankings and stuff. I think you'll get these last few, Tracy, Biotto, Wood. I think there's a good possibility you get those guys to campus. And I'm hoping Hankins makes it in because he's got a big bat as well and could do some – he could be, depending on – I don't think there's a surefire first baseman this coming year. There's some, I think, between Clark, Grimmer, Lawless – somebody will take that job. But Hankins could come in if he has a big fall. You never know because especially if these smaller roster limits on it. Looking at it as well. So that's kind of where I'm at now on it. Hankins, man, I hope. Grinlinger, I hope. But I could see them going Appenzeller, Schoolcraft. I'll be surprised. The other dudes, Tracy, Biotto, Wood. I think those guys have a shot of making would be big. Tyler Myatt, other JUCO guy, transferring from Walter State, JUCO Player of the Year, Triple Crown winner, was lighting it up in Appy League. According to a guy who listens, I communicate with on Twitter, old Daddy Donnie. He said that Myatt is going to the Cape Cod League for the rest of the summer. Could be short-lived, though, if he gets drafted high enough tomorrow. So I think that one bears watching as well. Now, here's the main dudes I'm watching that I think will have the most impact. Myatt's one of them. Myatt is a guy who could have a big impact next year for Tennessee. But I can't sit and lie. These JUCO bats, man, I've seen enough of them come in. How does it translate from JUCO to the SEC? We've seen guys that was big steps for. A guy like Colby Backus lit up JUCO. He's in the portal. I don't know if he's found a new home or not. I hope he does. I hope he finds a good place. Ideally, for me, I'd like to see him go back to ETSU, go back home, and I think he could have a big year there. I hope that happens for him, no matter where he goes. But looking at it as well, Myatt is a dude. But the main guy I'm watching, who I think is the key to Tennessee's offense next year, is Henry Ford. Transfer out of Virginia, first base outfielder. All right? I still think I've seen there's hope that he makes it in. And I think it would make sense for him because he does have 2 years eligibility left. He could come in next year. He could improve his stock up to, you look at an Andrew Fisher. Ford is right-handed, Fisher's left-handed. Still yet, Andrew Fisher, he's more than likely going to be a first-round pick tonight. I'll be really surprised if he's not. You improve up to that first-round pick, get a nice bonus. You get more salary as well. The higher you get picked, the higher your salary is, obviously. And Ford could withstand, if he comes in and has a big year at Tennessee, like people thinks, he could really benefit from it. But what's his number? Will teams meet it? I think the best case for Tennessee tonight, well, I'll end that here in a minute. Ford is a big one for me. Mason Estrada, Clay Edmondson, those two guys, I think they're risks. Just because this is – Estrada may have a couple years left, so he could possibly benefit from it. Clay Edmondson, though, he's a grad transfer. This is his last year of leverage on it. If he gets picked tonight, and especially when he was just the Big South pitcher of the year, really good pitcher, I don't know that – he's apparently on campus, but I don't know that he makes it to campus in terms of actual – that he'll be playing for Tennessee next year. I hope he does because he adds another element. He's another side armor, kind of like Brady Frederick. I think Frederick's more submarine. Edmondson is probably closer to A.J. Causey, but still, it's not. I'm going to be surprised if Edmondson and Estrada are on Tennessee's roster next year. I hope they are. They'll be big for it. Ford, I don't know, man. I'll be honest. It's hard for me to get my hopes up on it. But here, in terms of Tennessee, here's what we want tonight. And again, I want all these guys to realize their dreams in this. I don't want them, I don't want to look at it from the selfish standpoint that it messes up these guys' dreams. If it's their dreams to go now, go, man. Go do your thing. Cannot blame you one bit. From a Tennessee perspective, here is the best case scenario for tonight. All right, Carlson, Doyle, Hall, Keelan, Fisher, Curley, Phillips, Russell, Ethan Moore, and you could even go as far as Tanner Franklin, Matt Barr. Those guys come off the board tonight. Maybe even a Brandon Arvidsson. I don't know if he sneaks up that high, top 3 rounds, but I don't think he'll be around long into tomorrow. Best case there. And then here's who you don't want to hear tonight if you're Tennessee, from a Tennessee. And again, this is a selfish Tennessee standpoint I'm looking at. Again, if these guys want to go, I hope they get their name called tonight and they're able to do their thing on it. From the selfish Tennessee standpoint, if we don't hear the names Cruz Schoolcraft, Cameron Appenzeller, Henry Ford, Trent Grinlinger tonight, that is a good thing. That is a good thing. That's not to say teams couldn't come in tomorrow because some teams, I know the Braves will kind of draft below slot early, and then they've got more money to distribute later on. And the Braves aren't going to be the only one to do that. And it shows with the Braves' first-round picks, or Cam Caminiti was the exception last year, I felt like. But looking at it as well, that's our best case scenario. If Schoolcraft, Appenzeller, Ford get through tonight, we might have a real shot at Grinlinger. We may have a real good shot at getting him to campus, possibly. Bears watching, but in the event, it'll be fun to watch the guys who just finished up get drafted, and it's going to be a little nerve-wracking because these other dudes that I just mentioned, as far as not, those could be key parts of next year. But Tennessee baseball, man, regardless, they've had big visitors this weekend. Tony Vitello, I think, has a plan regardless. This team's going to be loaded next year regardless of what happens tonight. Guys, have a great rest of your Sunday. This is Frank, House of Orange. I'll see you when I see you.